There is a man who spreads joy amongst children once a year. They lay awake in eager anticipation of his arrival. What presents does he bring with him on this evening? The cookies have been baked and the milk has been poured, but as the shadowy figure approaches, their excitement and joy turns into fear and despair. For this man is not St. Nicholas, or Santa Claus, or even Father Christmas. This man is no man at all. This is Krampus, the shadow of Christmas, and tonight there will be no presents received. The half-goat, half-demon figure has often been described as the anti-St. Nicholas. But in some countries, it is believed that Krampus accompanies St. Nicholas during Christmas, punishing those children who have misbehaved, in contrast to St. Nicholas, who rewards the well-behaved children. Krampus has been feared and celebrated in folklore for hundreds of years, and his appearance is that of nightmares. With large barren horns, dark hair, sharp fangs, and a long pointed tongue. He carries around chains which are thought to be symbolic of the Christian church binding the devil. As well as these chains, Krampus carries a bundle of birch sticks used to swat misbehaving children. St. Nicholas would reward the well-behaved children with gifts and presents, and he would leave the misbehaving children with a lump of coal. This would signal to Krampus which children were to be whipped and beaten. On occasion, Krampus would throw misbehaving children into his sack or basket and take them down to his lair in the underworld. The depictions and stories of Krampus do distinctly vary, and there is no definitive version considered to be correct. In some illustrations, he is more monster than man, and in others he appears as half man, half demon. Unlike St. Nicholas, the origins of Krampus appear to be a little bit more unclear. The earliest tales of Krampus do appear to have originated from the Austrian Alps in Germany, perhaps even predating Christianity. The word Krampus is derived from the German Krampen, meaning claw, and we do see Krampus share characteristics of other demonic creatures from other cultures, such as fauns and satyrs from Greek mythology. In Norse mythology, Krampus is believed to be the son of Hel, the daughter of Loki and keeper of the underworld. The legend of Krampus is part of a century-old tradition in Germany. December 5th was known as Krampus Night, where children would be especially wary not to attract the attention of the beast, hoping that come December 6th, St. Nicholas would have left them presents. Children would leave out their shoes for St. Nicholas, who would fill them with gifts if they had been good. He would place a lump of coal in the shoes of those who have misbehaved, and they would be later dealt with by Krampus. Krampuslauf, or the Krampus Run, is an annual festival still celebrated to this day in Austria and throughout the Alpine region. The tradition itself is thought to be over 500 years old, and individuals would often dress up as the demon of Christmas himself. Wearing heavy coats of fur made from the hide of sheep and goats, they don horns and terrifying masks in the image of Krampus. They roam the towns and cities with torches and birch whips, and they are usually accompanied by St. Nicholas, who leads the group throughout the town, where they can be seen slapping people on the back of their legs with their whips and switches. They will scare the local children, and sometimes even adults, throwing them into the snow, all in the name of fun. Some will even go door to door, visiting people in their houses and giving them treats and other goodies, somewhat of a reversal to the trick-or-treat tradition. In some parts of Austria, before Christian influence, December was the month of monsters and ghouls. At first glance, Krampus seems to play the role of the Christmas villain, but he represents far more than just an evil entity. Krampus is seen to be the counterpart to St. Nicholas. With good comes bad, with light comes dark. Krampus was often referred to as the shadow of St. Nicholas. There are those who still see Krampus as a symbol of the devil, but in modern day, despite still being feared, Krampus has become somewhat of a symbol of celebration in many cultures. I've personally never seen Krampus as a force of true evil. To me, Krampus symbolizes the need for our moral compass to be balanced. There must be rewards and consequences for the actions we take. If receiving no presents from Santa Claus is not enough to dissuade the bad behavior of children, then surely a visit from Krampus will.